Hi, I'm Glenn Whipp with the Los Angeles Times. The Emmys are tonight, 6 hours from now. Joining me, television critic Mary McNamara.
Hello.
Mary,
Back again?
Are you like in sort of a fragile emotional state right now and just kind of gearing up to write your Game of Thrones
Oh, wouldn't it be wonderful?
again?
Oh, no. I want to gear up for this is the year the Game of Thrones sweeps the Emmys.
But you're really, I mean, that's not happening. So,
well,
so are you?
Hey! Never say die.
Yeah, all right.
I am, right now I'm just concerned about the traffic situation and that everybody gets there. That's like what I'm concerned about. I'm interested to see what happens. I mean, at this point, television is so insane. The television landscape is so crazy. Half the people who should have been nominated for Emmys weren't even nominated because there's just so much great TV that you cannot possibly honor everything the way it deserves to be honored. So if you take it as that it's all like it's become increasingly, I don't want to say arbitrary, because of course whoever wins no doubt will deserve to win, but it's just kind of it's anybody's guess who's going to win. Yeah. I mean, who saw Jeff Daniels winning last year? I mean, that was crazy.
Right.
Or Merritt Wever, who I love, and I was so glad that she won. But it's like, anything can happen. So that's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it is so fragmented now that there are going to be these people who end up winning, I think, tonight. And people at home, viewers, are going to be going, really? Who is it? I mean, my pick for just like a left field sort of Jeff Daniels, Merritt Wever thing is Ricky Gervais for Derek.
I know you did pick him. Then, that would surprise me very much.
Yeah,
very much
indeed.
He's
got this episode. Emmy voters vote on episodes, not series.
Which is crazy. Which is something that is increasingly driving me insane, because it's so not what television is. Because one of the skills that actors and writers and directors bring to television is the ability to sustain these great characters week after week after week, and to make them fresh and to keep people engaged, and that, because of the necessity of the voting process, that doesn't seem to be as big a consideration as it should be.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate.
You want Emmy voters to work as hard as you do.
I can't even watch every single episode, but I do feel like one episode is not enough. And and I'm starting to see, like, every once in a while in a show, you'll see like an episode and you're going, well, that was really odd. Is that their Emmy episode? The one that's going to go out, because tonally it's so different.
Yeah.
But I think, again, it's like it's going to be very interesting to see how the Academy goes, because then you also feel like, are they spreading things around? Are they going to acknowledge the big four broadcast networks, which have so few nominees? Or will Juliana Margulies finally win? I mean, it's like that's there are all sorts of questions that will be answered tonight about how, mainly, what the Television Academy is thinking.
Right.
Not like what are the best television shows, but that's just the way it is in any awards.
I guess with comedy series, you have a chance. Again, you have the network comedy Modern Family just dominating.
Right.
4 seasons in, 4 Emmys.
Right.
And tonight it has the chance to win its 5th straight Emmy, which would tie it with Frasier, which is co-creator Christopher Lloyd's other series. So he would have his 10th Emmy on his shelf. I was over at his home recently.
A wonderful piece.
Got
you had
a lot of Emmys.
A lot of Emmys, yes.
And then he's up against these other shows, including Orange is the New Black, which I wrote a piece about this yesterday, and got a lot of readers saying, really, it's nominated in the comedy category? That's weird.
Isn't that funny? Because I remember they were nominated as a drama for the Golden Globes, and I remember thinking, that's so weird. Why aren't they being nominated as a comedy? So I really think that that's something that's, increasingly with these darker comedies, you are kind of having it's almost a hybrid. I mean, because it could go either way.
Yeah.
And Nurse Jackie is another one, where, she has won, Edie Falco has won for lead actress in a comedy, and that's as much a drama as it is a comedy. So, but I think that with Orange is the New Black, I'm really hoping that it wins. I don't really care where it's nominated. It's just such a new, fresh, wonderful show that you really want to. I mean, one of the things that I think of, the Emmys as being able to do is to anoint or praise new attempts at television, and I think that they have a really good chance to do that with Orange is the New Black. Modern Family's not going anywhere. It'll be nominated next year. I really don't care if, I mean, bless his heart, if he wins another Emmy or not.
I'm not sure that he really cares.
I don't think he
wants
either.
to, because he doesn't want to win.
Like, so I really hope that if it comes down to that, in terms of, you know, whether we should acknowledge a newcomer or give a record-breaking award, I hope they go with the newcomer.
Yeah, I mean, it just always seems like the anointing happens maybe a year after you think it should. You know, I mean, they're always like a step behind. Whereas, like you mentioned, the Golden Globes, that little group takes, I think, special pride because it gets the first crack at television awards with the new series coming out. I think it takes like a special pride in the anointing. Like, we got there first, we planted our flag.
Yes, definitely. There's something to be said for that, yes.
But the Television Academy doesn't seem
But I think we're going to see, you know, I mean, in the True Detective is certainly going to bring home some hardware. I mean, I would be very surprised if Matthew McConaughey doesn't win over Bryan Cranston, who for so long has been the poster boy of great television. So that will be interesting.
But see, and it's his last chance, Cranston's last chance.
Cranston's last chance, but perhaps McConaughey's only chance because he's not going to be, I mean, he's not going to be in the next series of True Detective. Yeah.
So you
as far as we know.
So you think McConaughey will probably end up prevailing there?
Yes, I do.
But what about series, do you think? I went with Breaking Bad over True Detective.
I would go with Breaking Bad over True Detective. I'm holding out hope that this is the year of the Game of Thrones. I'm hoping that perhaps Breaking Bad and True Detective will split, you know, that the fans will split, and that maybe Game of Thrones can come in, because it really is, in terms of ambition and wonderfulness and multiple storylines and just absolute powerful storytelling. It really is such a great show.
Yeah, I mean, and if you're going on the seasons, it had a pretty great season.
It had a really great season, and this is a show that has strong male characters, strong female characters, you know, is able to deal with with dragons and and weird magic and White Walkers and still keep you in the moment. So, and I give, you know, extra bonus points for that, for being able to sustain a fantasy world. It's so hard to do and so easy to screw up, and they just haven't missed a beat. So,
you mentioned Juliana Margulies earlier.
Right, for Good Wife.
It seemed that, and Good Wife not nominated for drama series.
No, which is terrible.
And it had a great season.
Exactly, it had a great season.
Juliana Margulies is.
Yes.
And she's in that kind of lead actress drama category, very kind of a wide open category this year.
It is.
Because Claire Danes has won the last 2 years for Homeland. But most people kind of look at Homeland, and I mean, it wasn't nominated for Best Drama either. Damian Lewis not nominated, so people think Danes is vulnerable until you look at Claire Danes' Emmy episode, which was the
Down to the Episode.
Down to the Episode. It was the Homeland finale where Brody, I mean, everybody knows this now. I'm not spoiling this.
Right, no.
Brody, you know, she has to say goodbye to Brody, and she pins that star on the wall. It's a really emotional episode.
Yes, very, very
so,
moving.
I mean, even though people are kind of like, they don't like Homeland, I wouldn't be shocked if she won a third straight year.
I'm really hoping that Lizzie Kaplan wins. I realize that I may be the only person betting on her, but I feel like that show, again, Masters of Sex, has gotten a lot of buzz. It's, you know, a new and different kind of show, and she makes that show. That's the reason you watch that show. Is she is just astonishing in it, and her character is astonishing, and so I'm going with the newbie, but you're probably right. It's going to be one of, you know, all of them are wonderful.
Yeah,
and Robin Wright is wonderful. That character is wonderful. It is to the point where I can't be unhappy with anyone who wins. I can just
Kerry Washington, you'd be okay.
Well,
I say I found one.
She does a marvelous job with that show, and I'm happy that she's nominated because I think it's really good for the Academy to acknowledge again how difficult these kinds of shows. I mean, we tend to think, especially a show like Scandal, that it's just so crazy and so over the top and just sort of celebrates its craziness. But again, those shows are very difficult to sustain. You can't just sustain a show because it's like, you know, because it has crazy tweetable moments. You have to have characters, and you have to have performances that anchor the show, that bring people in, that make people care. Otherwise, you know, and she has done that. Kerry Washington has done that against all odds. So again, extra bonus points.
Joe Morton's already won. He already won
Oh, that's
Guest
right.
Actor, yeah.
That's
so
right.
They've already
So
got
they've already gotten one.
But yeah, I would love to see Lizzie Kaplan win, because that character, I mean, when you think about particularly the first season, she is just like the embodiment of every male fantasy, but yet she just pulls it off in a way that's, you know, not.
And she defies expectations at every turn.
She's funny and sexy and smart.
Smart and takes herself seriously and is learning to take herself more seriously. And I just, you know, I hope she wins.
Yeah, that would be great. I would love to see her win. And it's wide open.
It is wide open. It is. You can't, it's like, you know, remember, I mean, like 5 or 6 years ago, some of these categories, they had to like really like scramble.
Right.
Especially the female leads, because there just weren't that many shows with, you know, very strong female leads. And so there really were usual suspects, you know, year after year after year. I don't think, you know, I was just asked, is, you know, are these going to be usual? I think that although we do still see the war horses get nominated, it's like usual doesn't apply anymore, because everything is changing so fast, and because there are so many different kinds of shows, and they're even having a hard time categorizing the shows. I mean, look at like, you know, what's a miniseries, what's a series? You know, the Sherlock Holmes or the Sherlock is up for best movie and miniseries, which is really strange. The Last Bow, the finale is up. And that's really odd. And it's like they can't, because television is so impossible to categorize, they're having a hard time categorizing it.
Yeah, and the Television Academy doesn't seem to be anxious to be able, they seem to be at a loss more than anybody. I couldn't even get somebody on the phone from the Television Academy
to talk about it
on the categories and stuff. They don't want to police it. They're just like, okay, you know, wherever you want to put it, that's fine.
Right. Well, because the thing is, when it comes down to it, especially when you have like these, you know, cable and now Netflix, these television shows with like 8 episodes or 6 episodes or 10 episodes going up against your your 23 episode, you know, big 4 broadcast networks. I mean, it's apples and oranges. It's really unfair to compare them. But the answer is more Emmys, which is like, so what do we see? So then maybe the Emmy telecast becomes a mini series.
A like weekend celebration.
Emmys part 2. You know, I don't see that happening. So I think we're just going to have to live with what it is and just realize that there are a lot of fabulous shows that will not win, and celebrate the ones that do.
And lead actress comedy. You know, speaking of war horses.
War horses, yes. So we have
Julie Louis-Dreyfus.
Who's won, what, 2 times?
Yeah.
So this is her third.
Yeah.
What I can't even remember. So
for Seinfeld, she's won.
Well, no, I mean for Veep.
For Veep, she's won twice. Yeah.
2 in a row. Yeah.
She's won. A bunch. New Adventures of Old Christine. She won an Emmy for that. So she's back. She's the favorite. Do you see anyone?
I'm hoping my gal Amy Poehler pulls it through. She won the Golden Globe, and you know, and she does such wonderful work. And Parks and Rec is great. And Parks and Rec is finally, you know, it's always been a critic's favorite, but I feel like in the last year it's gotten a little more attention. And the finale was great. I don't know what her episode was.
I don't know either, because she doesn't have a chance.
But that's another
winning,
one where.
But so I didn't even look. But I mean, that was so exciting when she won the Golden Globe. When she won the Golden Globe, like there was a real sense of thrilling.
She's having a moment.
Yeah, because she'd never won an award.
Right, and she
should. Never won anything.
And that's another one where it's like, here's a character that year after year after year has brought people, and who doesn't hog the show. I mean, she's not, she's the star, but she's not the star, which is not to say that Julie Louis-Dreyfus hogs the show. But I mean, it's a much more ensemble show, Parks and Rec, than. But yeah, so. That's what I'm hoping for, but you can see, so I probably will. My little hopes will be dashed.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to bring you down. First with the Game of Thrones thing, and now with Amy. But
it's like I can't be sad because everybody deserves it.
Yeah. Anybody? Anything else you're hoping? Anything else?
I just want Cicely Tyson to win for Trip to Bountiful, and I'm pretty sure that she is going to win, because it's like I can't imagine anybody beating that performance, and that was an amazing. Movie. I was so happy Lifetime had it. Everybody should watch it. It was like one of the highlights of my year to watch that performance and to watch that movie.
And yeah, we both have done a lot of radio interviews, and we hear from readers. It seems like tonight, the thing that people it's most on their minds, besides the awards, or even more than the awards, is the Billy Crystal tribute to Robin Williams.
Yeah, I'm.
Should be really emotional.
Yes, I mean,
Moment.
last year's Emmys was very much hamstrung, I felt, by their decision to put so much emphasis on the people that we had lost. And we had lost some very good people. And so it is very hard to know what to do. But, you know, with the death of Robin Williams, obviously that has to have, you know, a very significant moment during the telecast. And I'm hoping, and it seems to be the case by asking Billy Crystal to do it, that they will honor his spirit in that, you know, Robin Williams wouldn't have wanted everybody to like sit around and mope. It's like, you know, he was the king of lifting everybody's hearts. And so I'm sure that that is what we're going to see, is a very, you know, a funny and loving tribute that will allow us all to just sob away for a minute before moving on in a natural and kind of joyful way to celebrate, you know, the power of entertainment, which Robin Williams' life is a testament to the power of entertainment.
Yeah, if you ever went back and watched Robin Williams win the Oscar for Good Will Hunting, you know, Billy Crystal was hosting that night. He was on stage.
Right. He did that funny. Billy Crystal did that funny song about Ben and about the writers of Good Will Hunting.
Yeah. And after, you know, after Robin's speech, he walked off, and Billy was there to give him a hug. I mean, I think it's going to be a really special moment, and it's great that they found somebody who, you know, is close to him and really loves him and respects him. So. Looking forward to that.
I am looking forward to that. So I wish we weren't having to see it, but I am looking forward to it.
Yeah. So we'll be back tomorrow.
We will.
With some friends.
When Game of Thrones sweeps the Emmys. I will bring a big plate of crow for you to eat.
Yes. So we have that to look forward to. I'll skip breakfast and I'll have my crow. And
a raven, actually. I'll bring you a big plate of raven.
And we'll see you all tomorrow, noontime tomorrow. We'll talk about the Emmys again and what went down. Thanks for watching today.